Hey, fellow travelers, Mark here with Walter's World, and I just made it in time. I had to bring Liam back from practice, and apparently it was hit every red light and just not have a way to get home. But I got here. I'm glad to be here with you. It's nice to see everybody again. We are going to talk about a lot of different things today. I want to try to answer some of your questions. We're going to be on for about an hour. But yeah, just to talk about some things. Nice to see so many fantastic people on here. I see Jocelyn's on here. She's out traveling. So people ask, hey, do you guys always travel together? No, sometimes we go by ourselves. Jocelyn's traveling with a friend of hers now. And next week, the boys and I are going to go do a boys trip. So it'll be a fun time. So good to see so many people on here. Brian, good to see you on here. Joe Terra, too bad for us. Joe, don't worry, I'll be back. I'll try to do some weekend ones here. So it's morning here and afternoon for you in Europe, my friends. Simply Corey, it's good to see you on here. Hey, Lori, Jim and Kathleen. On our way from Iceland, we are flying via, Europe via Iceland. We're doing 24 layover Reykjavik. Nice, plenty of stuff to do. Just exploring Reykjavik will give you plenty of time, but I think Joss was already talking about that. So, Celine, good to see you. Chris Bates, always a pleasure. Flopkey, Shama, Rick Jorgensen, Alex, Quinlan Conley, good to see you. Traveling Dan, very nice, very nice. Nora, hi, hello, Brian, good to see you as well. Yeah, so I had this thing scheduled thinking I'd be home a half hour early. I was going to put some notes together with some stuff to talk about. So I'm trying to think about what a good theme might be for today, and we could talk about fall travel. We can talk about winter travel, or we can talk about next year and what we should be expecting, because I know right here, right now, people aren't really thinking about travel as much because it's the fall. And I see it in our numbers, like August 16th, it just drops like a rock. And so it's like, okay, people are done thinking about travel. And it's funny because December 26th, not the 25th, but literally the 26th, people are like, I'm tired of being home. I got to figure out where I'm going to go. And then people start watching travel videos again. It's pretty funny. WeBR, hey, thanks for being a long-time subscriber. I appreciate it. Lance, good to see you. Randy, my next trip to Ireland in February. Nice. I've gone in February. You might get a little dash of snow when you're there, actually, but it's still really nice. What's nice is Ireland. You can enjoy it any time of the year, so it works out really well. Rihanna, I'm going to Finland in May with a side trip to Tallinn, Estonia. Very nice, very nice. It's a really good one. I always tell people, if you want a relaxing destination, like Finland is probably one of the most relaxing destinations you can go to, just because the people are chill. They leave you alone. You can do your own thing, hit the sauna. They're like very contemplative, so you can really just be there. So like I actually went there this summer, and you'll see this summer. I was in there in April, and I had the day I got in, it was like April. It was the day after Lena's birthday. It's like the 22nd or 23rd I got there. And it was like perfect spring weather. I'm like, I'm going to film all these great videos for the spring and summer. It'll be fantastic. Went to sleep, woke up the next morning, and they had something like, they ended up getting like a foot of snow. They had like the entire year's worth of snow in one morning. I'm like, oh. So you'll notice all these, like, I had to wait to put those out, because putting out snow videos in the summertime, people are like, what? It throws people off. Henry, good to see you, my friend. Hope your evening's going well, Mark. Thank you, it is. I'm planning to go to London in February for 1 week. Weather-wise, will be okay. Have you been in February? Yes, I've been every month to London. In my PJ days, pre-Jocelyn days, I did date a very nice English girl for a number of years, and so I was there all times of the year. And what I would say, Henry, if you're going to go, obviously have, like, there's the rain jacket you want to have. Like, it's not going to snow. Like, I don't think you'll worry about that. But it will probably rain a little bit. But the thing is, it's like that cold rain. And so you want to have like a raincoat that's going to keep you dry, but one that's got like some thickness, not just a raincoat, but like a warm raincoat. And I know some people think, oh, do I bring a winter coat? Like winter coat? No, you want something more rain repellent that's warm, or maybe you can layer up in there. So you have that. So that would be my best thing to say for you, Henry. And thank you very much for the super chat. I really appreciate it. It is very nice of you, my friend, and good to see you. Oh, John's going to Germany the first week of December, going to visit Christmas markets. That's one of those things like we're looking at, because for those of you who know, the Christmas markets in Germany start the first weekend of Advent. Like in the U.S., the Christmas stuff starts like in July. But like if you go to New York City, they call them the holiday markets in New York. They're starting like the weekend before Thanksgiving, and they're already going. Whereas in Germany, stuff starts the first weekend of Advent. And if you're looking to go like a little bit earlier than the weekend of Advent, like the weekend before Thanksgiving, like Copenhagen starts a little earlier. That's the biggest city that starts a little bit earlier, but everything else is just then. And what you have to realize in Germany, most of the big cities, most of the Christmas markets stop on the 23rd of December because 24th is holiday, so they're closed. 25th and 26th are both Christmas Day 1 and 2. And then the Christmas is over. They take it all down. It's gone. Except for a place like Hanover has some stuff, and Berlin might have a couple of things. In Frankfurt, like mega cities, they'll have some mega cities, like bigger metropolitan cities, they'll have stuff, but the cute small town ones are gone. So that's good. You're going the first week, man. You're going to have a great time. Oh, no, Fortuna. Nice. Oh, you might see Jocelyn. She's going to be there at that exact same time. So look out for her. She's too cool. She's not going with me. She's going with her. She's going with Sandra. They're going to have a good time. Let's see. Shona. My husband and I want to travel somewhere during the week between Christmas and New Year's. So we'd be in our destination for New Year's. Any recommendations? So it depends what you're looking for. Because I mean, if you're looking to like celebrate and go out and dance and party, big cities in Europe are always fun for that. I find Europe is fun. Like big cities are fun in Europe because they do the big fireworks display for New Year's and everyone's outside. And even if it's cold, you can still do stuff. The U.S. New Year's, like New York and some other places, there's some like drop the ball kind of stuff, but not as much fun. Some places like Brazil, New Year's is a really big thing, especially if you're on the beach. Like you dress up in all white and run into the water at midnight when it becomes the New Year's. So there's some cool stuff there. But what you might look at is if you're from the U.S., you might look at going to South America or like what I was saying with that, but also going to Australia or the Southern Hemisphere. So you get like a double summer. So you can go and be warm for the holidays, which is weird because when you have like a warm Christmas, when you're used to like cold Christmases, it's like, your brain kind of like has a brain fart for a sec. So there is that. Patrick O'Neill, any thoughts on the Christmas markets in London? They were visiting. If you're in London already, yes. Back in my PJ days before pre-Jocelyn, I did go to some there, and it is nice. I find the Christmas markets, like if you go to the Cotswolds, how they do have the villages there, it's really nice. York is beautiful. Like the small, and that York's not a small town, but like smaller places, it's just easier to enjoy the Christmas spirit. But you can get it anywhere in London. It's very fun to be at Christmas time. I actually enjoy going there. It's like going to New York. Like you have the lights, you have the stuff going on, so you'll have a fun time with that. Jim and Harriet, hope you're doing well. Ooh, going to Portugal in a month. Have some port wine for me and a francesinha. The like, I'll have a video. I was just going through the edit of the Eats of Portugal. The francesinha is like the bread, meat, ham, cheese stuff, and then they pour this sauce on it, which is insanely high in salts, but insanely high in tastiness. So there's some good stuff coming for you. So don't worry about it. Shama, thank you very much for the super chat. What's your feeling over hotels versus Airbnbs these days? I hear scary stories now. Going to Rome in about 6 weeks. So if you watch our videos, I used to be a big proponent of Airbnb, and it was especially with kids because you had space, you had place to be, and it was actually, we used it a lot when the kids were little. But I would say, and it used to be like, if we're going to stay anywhere more than like 3 days, we're definitely going to get, an Airbnb. Whereas now, unless I'm going to stay someplace almost for like a week, I'm not doing it anymore because with the cleaning fees and all the extra BS that goes with it, and the fact that a lot of cities like the Airbnbs have really driven out the locals from their homes, I'm like, I don't know if I'll feel how comfortable I feel about it. So now it's only when I'm going for a longer stay, I'll do that just because of the constraints. But also I look at it, if it's going to be all four of us, the Airbnb still, like, they'll pop up. We're going to be there for a week or maybe 6 days. But if it's just me by myself, I'll probably do the hotel just for the convenience of not having to do the cleaning and like breakfast is provided and stuff. But when I think about it in terms of, a lot of times I look at like, when am I getting in and when am I leaving? Like if I'm going to get in the afternoon and I had to leave in a morning flight, Airbnbs are okay. However, if I'm getting in the morning and then I have a night flight going out, Airbnbs are worthless a lot of times because they don't let you check in early. They don't let you check in late or check out late. They don't hold your luggage. So you got to find other places to do that. And some places that you go to London, there's plenty of like left luggage places. There's actually websites you can go to for different places around Europe or South America that'll hold your luggage so you know where to go. But sometimes it can be a bit stressful. So sometimes what I've done is like, okay, I'll do a hotel the first night and the last night, and then we might do a few Airbnbs in the middle. We're doing some of our longer trips just so I know that, okay, we're getting early in the morning. I can get in, sleep during the day, and have my luggage, or I can leave my luggage and not worry about it. Or I have one trip I'm flying out and I'm flying out of Venice and I have a hotel because because my flight's at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And I'm like, it doesn't work. So I have a hotel so I can leave my bag, explore, and then go do stuff. So something to kind of think about when you're there. Hitting text 26. Good to see you. Is Utah on the agenda by any chance? It will be. We actually were in northern New Mexico and we were making a debate. Do we go to Taos or do we hit the Four Corners and try to search stuff up there? And Taos went out because I was sick as hell. So I was like, I can't drive. So it missed out. But we will be there. Don't you worry, my friend. Don't you worry. Risotto Eater, what are some non-touristy sites, beaches and sites in Honolulu? I cannot say. I have never been to Honolulu. I'm sorry, Risotto Eater. I appreciate the super chat, but I'm sorry I can't help out. I did a bunch of research on, we were going to Maui, and that's where a lot of the tourists actually end up going there. But for Honolulu, aside from the national park there, Volcano National Park, I don't have a lot for you because, when I was doing a lot of my research in Hawaii, it was like peak COVID 2020. So I'm like, So I do apologize for that. Let's see. Trip to Lebanon. I'll get there eventually. I don't have a problem going there. Right now, I know people ask for those kind of things, but I would definitely go there. Let's see. Hey, Kathy in Austria, good to see you. Brian, are Finnish cinnamon rolls better than Cinnabon? Cinnabon can't even hold a Korvapusti's jock strap. That's how good the Korvapusti, the cinnamon rolls in Finland are. They're phenomenal. Phenomenal. And you can eat more of them than you can the cinnamon bun stuff because they don't drown it in the sugar icing. So calorically, it's a healthier option than Cinnabon. So yes. and getting them at the market, like the city markets in Finland, it's a little bit nicer than your usual one. So I kind of like that. Let's see. So Randy Jack, Mark, I want to go to Germany really bad, but the flights are always wicked expensive. Do you think it would make sense to go to Paris and take a train to Germany somehow? So here's the thing. Sometimes that actually does work. Like, for example, we'll look at flights to go to Greece for Jocelyn's family, and the flights to Greece are always stupid expensive, just stupid expensive. So we'll fly to Italy for like $600 less per person, and then we'll fly EasyJet back and forth for like $100 each. So I'm like, oh, I just saved $1,800 for the four of us by doing that. So you can look at that. The train, you can look online to see what the train costs are to go from Paris to Cologne, where we're going to go. So you have that option, or look up an EasyJet or Ryanair and see that. Sometimes you pay just for the convenience. But yeah, I don't know. Like usually the Paris flights and Germany flights are pretty similar. Try some other airports near you, or be more like look at Munich, Frankfurt, Dusseldorf is another international one that gets a lot of used to get a lot of U.S. flights, Berlin. So maybe try other things, or look up Amsterdam because that might be a little bit closer. So that could be something for you. 53. Oh my God, that's 4.5 years. Oh my, Chris Bates, my friend. Thank you. I appreciate your membership for so long, buddy. It has made a difference. And for all the use, the donations, the super chats, the memberships, the Patreons, the super thanks kind of stuff. When you do the stars on Facebook, it does make a difference because it's not free to do these things. Like as much as people talk about, oh, you can see the world for free. I have not ever seen that. And since we don't do we haven't done any sponsorships, no one's asked to work with us because we do honest travel reviews, and places they don't want truth. They want, they just make a commercial for us. I'm like, then you need to pay me to make a commercial. No. And I'm like, I'm not going to do that. I would rather be honest with my audience and hope for their support than I will for, them be like, oh, hey, we're going to give you this, this nickel. And it's bad. So that's why members like you, Chris, mean the world to us. And I just want to say thank you. And thank you to all our members, all our patrons, everyone that's ever helped out with a super chat or anything. It does make a difference. It has bought us computers. The computer I'm on right now, though it doesn't have a very good camera, great computer for editing when I do my own editing, when I don't have the editors do it. The phone, the camera, the new camera we have that people have made comments about, that is directly from your support. So I just want to say thank you to all you for that. So thank you, my friend. Oh, Darren, hey. Well, 55. Oh, look at this. Darren dropping it. Yeah, you thought you were cool, Chris Bates. But thank you, Darren, for being a member. 55 months. That's awesome. How early can I renew my passport? You can renew it whenever you want. I mean, it doesn't have to be like 1 year out. You can renew it 3 or 4 years out. Actually, I had a passport that got ripped. It was in England. I literally had to wake the guy up to like have him swipe my passport. He swiped it, caught it, ripped it, so the plastic got ripped. And then it was in Jocelyn's bag, and Liam had a bottle, and the bottle leaked in it, and so the milk got into the picture and warped it a little bit. And we were going to China, and I'm like, I cannot go. And they're like, oh no, it's fine, it'll work just fine. I'm like, dude, I'm not going to China. I need a visa with anything wrong. So I actually got a new passport, and the old passport was only like 3 years old. So you can get it plenty of time early. Okay, so thank you for the question, and thank you for that. Jocelyn says, read my text. Let's see. Brian, what is some advice you would give for a first time about what you need to know at an airport? So Brian, sorry for this one. Jocelyn actually wrote me. It's like, hey, answer Brian's thing. So Brian, your first time at the airport, give yourself plenty of time. Okay. Domestic flights, they say 2 hours before. If it's a big airport, you're probably fine. Unless it's like Thanksgiving or like, Sunday or Friday when people are going on vacation. Those get a little crazy. International flights, they have you go 3 hours early. Some places like Munich, you do need to be that early. But one thing I'd say is have yourself prepared. Okay. Have all your liquids in the sacks before you get there. Have your belt off so when you go through security, have everything there. If you can check it, check it. Don't worry about that. Also, if you want to get early, they have the gate check like outside where it's like where you drop the cars off where the taxis are. Go there, check in there because they can take your bags there and you can just have your stuff and go get in line and get to your thing. Always look at the gates. We have a bunch of videos about like the do's and don'ts of the airports to help out. So we got a bunch of stuff coming out and some other ones there. See, now everyone's giving me crap because I didn't know their time. Sorry. Stuart Ross, thank you very much for the super chat. Plans for 2025 is slowly taking shape. Cost, that's in Greece. That's an island. That's really nice. It was nice learn to ride a quad bike and drive on the other side of the roads. Yeah, so there's Stuart's actually from the UK. So driving on the correct side is weird for him. I'm glad you had a good time, buddy. Very glad. Word Warrior, bruh. Hi, Walter's World. Any safety tips while I'm in Bogota? Going to be there later this month. So I have a don'ts of Bogota video. I think it's already out. I've got a safety video for Colombia, but I'll be honest with you. Stay in the Zona Rosa, the tourist zone. You're going to be okay there. You can go to explore stuff. The historic part, like Calendaria, is really cool. Go during the day. At night, be careful when you are there. Overall, the state's not too bad. I think it's in the video. I think it's because it's weird because the mountains, so instead of being, when you look at the map, it's not east and north, south, east, west, because they put the mountains on the top, which is on the east side. So it's like west side of the city, I think, is the unsafe part. So watch our don'ts of Bogota. That'll give you a lot of tips on that, okay? So hope that helps. Trip for Canada. We got lots of stuff to help you. Garrett Daw. Hey, Garrett, good to see you, man. We love more live chats. Great content as usual. I appreciate it, my friend. Yeah, dude, got a senior in high school. I got an 8th grader that's doing scouts and tennis and drums and stuff. And then the travel stuff, it's been a little much. Brian, I have not been to the Breaking Bad store in New Mexico, but we had a great time in New Mexico. We always do. It's a really great place. Henry, thank you again for another super chat, my friend. With only a week in London in February, would you recommend for me to visit Paris or Amsterdam? Amsterdam catching my attention a lot too. Well, Henry, I think you've been to Paris before, haven't you? Whichever one you haven't been to, I would go to that because I actually like both cities. And I actually have a video like the don'ts of the Eurostar, which is I took it from Amsterdam to London, so you can just do that. It's like a 4.5 hour thing. It's not bad at all. You can do that and make that it's a little long for a day trip, but spend a night there. You can do that one. Paris is the easy one. I like Paris the best, but whichever one you haven't been to, buddy. Verona, is it safe to go to Tangier? It can be safe to go to Tangier, but I would say watch your wallet, especially when you're in the markets and stuff. So yeah, we were in Morocco. I had a good time. So there is that. John, I've noticed 8 months out that I saw round trips to Frankfurt from Dallas has been as low as $5.25 per person. Yes, that's one thing. Here's one thing. I think when Delta kind of told their frequent flyers, we don't care about you as much anymore, we just care about the credit card money, it really opened up people's minds that, wait a minute, these airlines don't actually care about us. They just care about our money. Shocking, I know, but it got people to start looking. Maybe I don't just go with one airline. Maybe I look around. For example, I'm looking to go to Panama with the family, and I was looking, and I'm like, oh, Delta, $1,200. American was $1,000. United was $800. Copa Airlines, which is the Panamanian airline, had $500 flights from Chicago. I'm like, oh, I love my Delta. About $500 versus $1,200 times 4. That's that's a couple mortgage payments. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's one thing I think people really need to start being more heads up with, because like people joke online, even in the Delta groups, they'll be like, oh, Delta says they're a premium airline, but they're not anymore. I'm like, they never really were. They were one of the best airlines we had in the US, but it was never like a Emirates kind of thing. Especially now, lately, it's really kind of fallen off. I mean, if you talk to people that fly with them a lot, you're like, it's not quite the same experience it used to be. So, Elf Dog 100. Ooh, I love that name. Mark, has your family ever done a road trip in Canada? We have, actually, and we highly recommend it. We actually, our first road trip through Canada, we actually started in Illinois, went down to Florida, then went from Florida up to Prince Edward Island, then Prince Edward Island, and we went through Prince Edward Island, went through to Quebec City, Montreal, then down into Vermont, back to Montreal, then went over to Ottawa and Toronto, Niagara, and then came down through Niagara back into the U.S. We loved it. Like, I always enjoy going there. I know I have Vancouver as one of the most overrated places in the world, which I stand by. But especially for Canada, there's so many great places to go visit there. But the nature in Canada is so good to see. So you got a lot of great stuff. So, which is best for a long weekend? Well, that's a very long countries. Probably a weekend. I would do like Stockholm or Copenhagen for a weekend. That would be my recommendation. Let's see. XTubby 426. I'm going to Buenos Aires next month. I want to spend a day or two in Uruguay since I'm right there. Would you recommend Colonia, Sacramento, or Montevideo? Colonia, the boat will go over to Colonia anyway, and then you'll take a bus over to Montevideo, and you can get it'll say the ferry back from Montevideo, but most of the time it goes back to Colonia and goes back from there. So you can actually pull off both of them. So I would actually do both. I liked them both. You have a good time, but Colonia is well worth it. UNESCO World Heritage Site, the history there, it's nice. No, fabulous channel. Thank you very much. Cheers from Illinois. Hey, I'm there too. Both our boards are UIUC grads. I too am a UIUC grad, and my brother, and my dad, and my cousin. So good to have fellow Alani on here. ILL, my friend. Where'd it go? Comment, like, describe. Hey, man, the fam and I totally watched your Milan videos. We were heading there last week. It was way better than I had expected. Thanks. Yeah, Milan, because I will say I've gone to Milan a lot more times over the years. For my 5 lemonades, when I was very much not a Milan fan. Now I'm cool with it because a couple years ago, I ended up spending like 5 or 6 days there instead of doing some other parts because, it was like I was sick when I was traveling. Like, I'm just going to stay here. I'm going to tell the hotel, can I just stay a few more days? They're like, sure. So you can eat really well there. And if you're young, great partying there. Great clubbing, too. So let's see. William, renting a car could always work. I don't know the conversation that was on there. Mark Finley, who I just uploaded on his Escaping the Empty Nest. They were at the Friends exhibit in New York. So it's like everything's set up like the Friends TV show. So it's kind of a fun video to check out. As team, carry on with TSA pre-check. I'm ready to give the boot to the 2-hour rule. Yeah, it all depends, Mark. Like Mark's down in Dallas, and they have some efficiency. Or if you got like a small airport, like we fly at a small airport, it takes 5 minutes to get through. That's one of those things. But if you're going up to Chicago or you're flying directly out of Atlanta, like that's one thing. I gotta be careful. Quinlan, plans for 2025. So Quinlan, I was talking about Egypt. And we were going to take my dad there. And now he's worried with everything going on in the Middle East. He does not want to go to Egypt right now. So right now we have a big Balkan tour. We've got France, Germany, Poland, Italy, Panama, Caymans. What else? I'm looking at Roatan. We might get to Ethiopia. That's a maybe when we're there. Like that's what we're debating because we got like a week, 10-day free. We're trying to do that. So some of the ideas that are off there, my friend. So Joni, actually, I went to ask what site should I prioritize during overnight layover. That's tough. Like you have all day. If you had all day, the Hagia Sophia, and then take the ferry tour out and the things. So you're like, oh, I'm in Asia, I'm in Europe. Like that's kind of fun. But that would be the two things I would prioritize right there. Ryan Ward, marketing ideas on a turn for Central Asia, looking to take 2 weeks off of work and visit Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan. I would look at if you're going to go, especially if you're going to like Georgia or Azerbaijan or make sure you look and see because some of those places don't like stamps from other countries around there. So make sure you're looking at that so you don't go in the wrong direction. Okay. If you look up Gabriel Traveler, he's got a bunch of stuff from there and he walks around. He's a good dude. And he's a good dude. I like him. I like Gabe. Something there. Will Briggs. Hey, Mark, what's there to do in New Orleans during Christmas? Hurricanes, meaning the drink. Hand grenades, meaning the drink. There's lots of drink. You always drink well there. What's cool is a lot of people don't realize that New Orleans isn't just like a party city. There's actually tons of like historic stuff to do there. Like you go to the Garden District, you go see some of the homes that are there, the World War II Museum that's there. Like I would say for New Orleans, there are a few like Christmassy things, like they do the lights and stuff like that. But it still is more like you're doing the same city, but it just has Christmas lights up. If you know what I mean? Like there's some cities that are like that. Some like Chicago just has here. Like there's a few Christmas markets around. There's the main one downtown, and then some of the zoos do it up. Really nice. Other places it's just like, oh, we put up some lights on Main Street. So New Orleans is still cool. Like I've been there at Christmas time. I've been there at New Year's time. I've been there many times, and you have a good time. But I don't really know if it's going to be super like. It is very Catholic, so there's the stuff there, but it's not like, oh, Christmas markets and craziness, but it can still be fun. I love the video short about hanging out in front of the gate. What did you call them? Gate lice. Yes, gate lice. That's what they're called, gate lice. So those of you who know, I've been doing, so I have our Walter's World Shorts channel. Actually, if you click the links below, I got a links to our Shorts channel. We do food videos. Like people are like, where are your food videos? They're all on Walter's World Eats. You can go there and subscribe there. And then we have Professor Walters, which I do business training. And right now I've been answering like student questions for a long time, but I have a few videos I just made this week that are coming out. 2 are already out. Tomorrow is a big video. Then there's another one coming out, basically looking at like election polls because I do marketing research, and the mistakes we make in marketing research the same way they make mistakes in polls. So when they talk about stuff, it's like let's give people just a scientific thing of like why polls are right, why they're wrong, how they happen. So you can check out our Professor Walters channel. So you got lots of stuff there. Thanks, Rona. I appreciate you sticking with me for so long. Shoma, thank you again for the super chat. Taking 2 teens, one of whom is my grandson's girlfriend. Ooh, good luck, Grandma. Should we have some travel documents from her parents since she's allowed to travel with me? Yes. I'm not sure where you're going to go because someplace that's very important. Like we were in Chile, and we took one of Kayla's best friends, and we had to have, in Brazil, and we had to have notarized documentation that was okay by the embassies and stuff. I would look it up. I would talk to a travel agent specifically for that, or you can look up online like the country they're going to go to. It will be accompanied minor without parent or without guardian, and you might not need it. Like we technically needed it for Chile and Brazil. No one ever asked for it. Okay, but we still had it just in case they did ask. Otherwise, because literally we were in the line. It was Jocelyn, me, Caleb, Liam, and then Caleb's friend. Next to me, there was a teenager that was there and didn't have the stuff. And they literally like, you're coming with me and we're sending you back to the US. So I was like, oh, so good to have that. Cash for Poland and Czech Republic. So Poland and Czech, they still use some cash. If you're going to take some money out, I mean, you can use card almost everywhere there. So don't feel like you have to take some. Like I've had like $100 for each one. And to use card everywhere. It's just so you have the $100 to get some like negotiating the markets kind of stuff. That's about it. Like honestly, I'm going to be in Poland. and I might only get like $100, but I'm going there to buy trinkets and show the money and stuff. So I have to have it. But otherwise, I wouldn't get too much because Europe is getting less and less cash dominant than it used to be. So something to think about. Am I going to the Michigan game on Saturday? Sadly, it's the Illinois game, the ranked 22 Illini versus the ranked 24th Michiganders. So no, it's sold out. I don't have tickets. So hi, Lori. Oh, Blake, good to see you on here too, my friend. Do you insure your travel health insurance rep? Yes. Whenever I buy my flights, I always have that, and I use a credit card that has that. We actually have a video on the don'ts of travel insurance to help you out because there is travel insurance, trip insurance, travel medical insurance. There's a lot of different stuff there. So, Brian, you do not need to learn French before you go to Canada. Even if you're going to Montreal and Quebec, you'll be fine. Chris, Frankie, hello, 53 monthser. We'll be in Greece the week after Easter. We'll be busy in Athens the week after Easter. Well, wait, do you mean like Western Easter or Eastern Easter? It depends when you're going to be because it just depends when it falls. It's usually the week before Easter is the busy week there, Holy Week. Just looking to see whenever you're going to go. If you're watching the replay, it depends when Greek Easter is, Orthodox Easter is. That will be the thing there. Hey, Mark, your son's going to go to your alma mater? Probably not, since my alma mater actually worked there, so it's not cool to go where Dad works. So sadly, because I've been there long enough, they would get half tuition, but alas, I want them to go where they're happy. And then this one thing I tell, if any of you are parents or any of you are like anybody going to college, if you're high schoolers, find a place that really calls to you, because going to a place that's not right for you, it's a ticket to fail. If someplace you feel a part of, you're going to do so much better there. You're going to study harder and do better. So that's why I tell people, look, I would love for everyone to go to Illinois. I'd love everybody to be a marketing major and take my class. But I want them all to get the right school for them, but also the right degree for them. So that's something to kind of think about. That's one of those things I'm very passionate about. Henry, thank you very much, my friend. Just added, it will be my first time in Europe in February, so either Paris or Amsterdam will be okay. Will Jocelyn be joining later? Gracias. No, Jocelyn's in Florida. She's having a girls trip. I'm here taking the kids around. I don't have to take Caleb around anymore. He drives. He's 18. So yeah, people, that little kid that was screaming there, he is 18 now. He's a man. No, Jocelyn's she's down in Florida. So we have that. But thanks, buddy. I appreciate that. So if it's your first time, Henry, I would do Paris. If it's your first time, I would do Paris, buddy. If you have a few extra days, like I would maybe do like 3 days in London, then do 2 days in Paris, and then 1 day in Amsterdam, and then head back to London so then you can fly out. So that gives you like a Friday to Sunday kind of thing. I would do that to get you back. Because I want you to get back home, Henry. We need you. Thanks, buddy. Hey, glad to answer your question, my friend. And for those of you wondering, like, why is Mark picking these questions from so long ago? So the feed that I get is different than the feed that you see. So you might be like figuring out how to save the world, and I'm like, aliens have attacked. I won't see it for probably another 5 minutes. So I apologize. Fast guy, you did the Baltics and the Nordics, which are cool. Now you're looking at the Balkans. We're actually doing a big Balkan trip next summer. So we're going to be in Albania, Kosovo, Montenegro, North Macedonia, Bulgaria, Romania, Serbia. So we're getting all those. If you're looking at the Balkans, Croatia and Slovenia. I know Slovenia is it really Balkans? Slovenia and Croatia are probably the two best to visit as a tourist. If you can get over to the Black Sea, like Varna, in Bulgaria, that's really cool. Transylvania, part of Romania, that's too far. That's not Balkans, but like going farther down. Toronto, Albania is now like the new buzzword in travel, and they're getting a lot of Instagrammers going there. So you'll probably see a bunch of stuff from that coming up on your feeds over the next few months. So that could be something to help you out there. Papero, hey Mark, I just got back from Texas. Your videos helped me, and I went to Buc-ee's. I miss it. I know the wall of jerky is awesome. George Anthony, any good day trips in Barcelona, Madrid? I'm heading there in February. By the way, I just got back from Europe, and your tips saved me. Oh man, thanks, George. I appreciate that, and thank you for the super chat. That really means a lot to me. Thank you. So I I have a video on the day trips of Barcelona. I'm pretty sure I have a video on the day trips of Madrid. But the thing is, like, no one ever finds those because it's not a don't video. But if you look like Barcelona day trips Walter's World or Madrid day trips Walter's World, they'll show up. And if they're not, I would say Madrid, the two best ones, Toledo and Segovia are the two best day trips. From Barcelona, I would go to Girona. That would be the best day trip. Number two, probably Tarragona. If you want to get another country, you could technically do a day trip to Andorra, but Girona is nicer, so, and easier to get to. Brigadier, ain't nobody bothering you. So let's see. Ryan Ward, thanks, Mark. Gabriel's a beauty. Love his content. I do. He's a good dude. He is a good dude. High roller. Hi, roller Gabriel Traveler. Oh man, I got to take a picture of this one because I'm going to send it to him. Hold on, I got to get this over. I'm gonna send that to Gabe because that's if anybody knows Gabe, he's a good budget traveler. Hi, Brig. Let's see. God, I'm guilty of being gate lies. It's okay. Brig, I know. I'm gonna have to let Brig go to the bathroom here 1 sec. Liam, I have children. They can help me. Can you let Brig out and stay out there with him for a bit? Jim and Harriet, we were in Vegas this past August. Oh my gosh, I would die. I would straight up die. Very expensive, very hot, 118 degrees. That's like 1 million in Celsius for my European followers. How do you do a Vegas on a budget? We did a show, Johnny Rocket, $10 burgers, Jim and Harriet. So I actually have a video on free Vegas, but I'm going back next year to redo it because a lot of the free stuff has been torn down. Probably the best free stuff to do is like going into the casinos and watching people throw their lives away or their money away, and then just taking it to the people. Like that's my fun thing. That's one thing I like going to like the old downtown part because you still have some stuff there. But yeah, it's eating there. Like the cheap buffets are pretty much gone. The cheap eats are gone. If you can go out to some of the hikes in the state park around there and the national parks around there, those are pretty good. So that can pay off. So there's that. Favorite places in Memphis, Gus's Fried Chicken. Hello, that is my favorite place to go in Memphis, right there. You can always see the Ducks at. You always go see the Ducks too. Yeah. Did he go pee? Did he go? What did he do? Pee. Oh, okay. Let's see. Sean gifted 1 Walters World membership. Aw, thanks, man. That's very nice of you, Sean. I appreciate it. There's Liam. Yeah. He was very helpful. Let the dog out. He's now. Yes, you can. Liam loves these things. So if you see him and you have a van with no windows and you offer him these things, he will get in your van and we'll never see him again. We failed as parents. He's like, ooh, now it's a big joke with Liam. He's like, a van with no windows. I should go see if they have candy. Brigadier, you're fine. You want to say hi to Brig? There's Brig. He's a little. Hi, Brig. Yes, I'm married, Brig. Anyway, okay. Let's see. Brig, sit down. Go down. Good boy. So he listens better than my children. Let's see. So, what are you doing? Mom's watching. She's gonna kick your butt, man. He's like breaking stuff in the house. So, mommy of 2 kiddos. How far in advance should I purchase airline tickets for a trip to Italy? It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. So, if you're looking at getting tickets for Italy, if you're looking now for next summer, they're gonna look insanely high. Usually, they'll say buy like 4 months, 5 months out. Sometimes what I end up doing, I'll use like a site like kayak.com which will look at all the airlines. And then I will see what is there a flight that's like way more cheaper. I'll look that up. And then it's like an American flight. Then I'll go to AA.com, AmericanAirlines.com, and I'll book it directly with them in case anything goes wrong. Cause then I can change it, and they'll be like, oh, no fee for changing. So if it drops, I can switch the price. So that's what I kind of do. Cause sometimes, cause usually I usually have my tickets like 6 to 8 months out, 9 months out, sometimes more, because you're usually going to buy flight tickets up to 11 months out. But I'm doing this because of work, so I need to know where I'm going to travel, the video content I'm going to make, so it's a little bit different, but that can kind of help you out. Thanks, Sean. Welcome, buddy. Oh, for those of you that are members, don't forget there's the Facebook group. I'll post a thing on the members link so you can find it there. And then you just let us know like what your YouTube name is. And then we can, from your YouTube name, then we can find it and we can put you on, because some people try to get on there without that, or scammers and stuff. So I don't want any bad people's on there. Hey, Pierce, good to see you. How are the security border checks in Germany? Security for Christmas. We're going for 3 weeks in November. We'll be renting a car and driving the country. Very few. I know they had news lately that Germany reinstituted some border crossing stuff because people going through, but you're not gonna be affected by that. We were there last Christmas and there was nothing. So let's see. Oh, Merrick, any recommendation for a historical tour and vacation weekend in Milwaukee? Some really good neighborhoods, some good innings. We have a Don'ts of Milwaukee video on Walter's World, and we've got an Eats of Milwaukee on our Eats of Walter's World Eats channel. So those can give you some tips straight away for that can help you out. Thank you, Sean. I appreciate it. I know it doesn't show it here, but the sticker. Thank you. I appreciate that. Grace, me and my mom would love to travel around Ireland, but we both have pretty bad driving anxiety in general, which when you drive on the other side of the road gets amped up. Alternative ways to travel around Ireland without driving. Yes, there's trains that will take you all over. There's buses that will take you all over. And if you're in the cities, you want, like if you're in Galway and you're like, well, I want to go to the Ring of Kerry, or not the Ring of Kerry. I want to go to the Clissamore and I want to go see the Burren and I want to see the Neolithic things. There's tours that will take you, like bus tours, private tours, small group tours. You'll have plenty of options. So you don't have to worry about that when you're there. So you can just train it, fly to Dublin. You can take a train to Galway, Kilkenny, Killarney, all kinds of stuff. You'll be okay. All right. Don't you worry. Don't let that stop you. You and your mom need to go there. All right. Oh, WS. Yes, Namibia is for our next safari stuff. That is where we are going. That is awesome. I'm jealous. That's awesome. Let's see. Yeah, Romania, Black Sea. Wow. Yeah. See how long ago was I talking about the Black Sea? Oh my goodness. Steve, good to see you, my friend. Thanks for the recommendation. We're headed to Christmas markets in Munich, Salzburg, Strasbourg, and Colmar. All perfect ones. Depending when you're going to be going in there. Well, we have new Munich videos come out that were filmed last Christmas. Don'ts of Salzburg is going to come out the first week of December because it's all snowy there. Was filmed at Christmas markets. We do have a bunch of Strasbourg and Colmar stuff that was filmed in the summer, but they'll be fair. The information I have is going to be very helpful because I talk about the Christmas stuff there. You will have a great time. Tafari Mata, your top 3 favorite party cities from when you were in your 20s: Berlin, Prague, and Barcelona, Madrid. Barcelona. That's where you would have saw Hairful, just as chunky, just as dashing Mark dancing the night away. Least friendliest cities. I have the least friendliest countries. Least friendliest cities. I'm going to think about that one. Back to bacon. Do I travel for work? Yeah, I travel for work a lot, actually. That's why I make the videos. Because a lot of times it is working, which sucks sometimes because I want to travel more and enjoy, but I also want to make the videos and explore to help share people so they can travel better. So it's a little bit of both. Shauna, thank you very much. Shauna, the Christmas to New Year's girl again. We have the same taste in terms of what we like to do. So tell me where you would go for a week with just you and Joss when we aren't clubbing people. So if I was going to the Christmas markets, no, that's between the week. I would not go anywhere where kids are very popular because all the kids are off and the families take them there. I would go smaller town Italy tour, like Bari, Poliano Amare, Alberobello, Matera, Lecce. I would do something like that where it's not a typical kind of place people go at Christmas time. But Bari is where St. Nicholas is buried, where his tomb is, so you can have that. I would probably do something like that. Or I would do somewhere it's going to be more of a driving trip, like do like a Normandy beaches kind of stuff. Normandy, Loire Valley, rent a car and do that. We did that for like 10 days. That was really nice. So hope that can help. Mindy, hello. Aaron and I would like to know your favorite place. My favorite place, I always tell people, if you speak Portuguese, Brazil's my favorite place to go. If you don't speak Portuguese, Brazil's a nice place to go. After that, I'll probably put it between Italy and France. So thank you, Mindy. I appreciate it. You're very nice. Yes, thanks, Mark. I watch every one of his videos religiously, like I do with yours. He's a good vlogger and offers solid travel advice as well. Yeah, I know. Gabe's an awesome dude. He's an awesome dude. Oh, Sean. Flying to Savannah money on our first time. Watch all your Savannah videos. Can't wait. I'll try not to freak out over humidity. Yes, I know it won't be very humid. You never know. It might be. No, there is a cool front coming down. Yeah, no, Savannah's great. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. We go there all the time. I can't stop it. Brian, I have not heard of them. I'll have to check them out. Oh, Nora. Okay, so now I'm the high Liam. So that was when Liam was here 10 minutes ago. Okay. Caleb. Thank you very much for the super chat. Hi, Walters. Do you have any tips for adjusting to the new schedule in London? Traveling at the end of the month from LA. Okay, so you've got you have an 8-hour time difference. What I'm going to say is when you're going to get in the morning, don't sleep. If you are, maximum 1 hour nap. What I would do when get your hotel the night before so you can come in, drop off your stuff. If you want to rest for like an hour, do that. But I would recommend, if you don't have to, don't try to sleep on the plane. Take a shower, get cleaned up, and then go explore for the day. Then come back, go to bed early. Like go to bed at 6 or 7 o'clock at night and then crash, and then you're up early the next morning. Because if you go and you sleep too much when you get in, then you lose that day, and then you're all wonky and stuff, and you don't want that. Okay, so that would be my best advice for doing. That's what we do all the time. Like we'll get in, if you need a nap, like Justin will sleep for an hour or something. Then I'm like, all right, it's 10 a.m. We got to go. We're going to see stuff. You can come back, go to sleep early tonight, have an early dinner, and do that. That'll make life a lot easier. So. Yes, we do have plans for Alaska. That is probably going to be a September or August trip towards the end of the summer stuff. And like for folks you know, like since Caleb's a senior in high school, the last couple of years has been crazy because we can't take him out as much. Because I mean, I could teach it when it was like basic math, but calculus, I can't teach that. So getting to take them. So now that he's going to be he's graduating this year, and Liam's just starting high school, and I can still help him. We're going to do some more trips to get some of those places. So there is that coming up. So for Vegas, Carmen, yes. So Carmen's awesome, by the way, in case you were wondering. Is it the Red Rocks National Monument? Yes, that's the one I was talking about, the stuff outside that's worth doing. This is where we went. We actually have videos from that. If you look on our Las Vegas videos, the newer ones that are only like a few years old versus the ones that are like 10 years old. So, but you can just go, hey, Mark looks different. I can't place it. Is it the beard, the ponytail, the fat? I don't know. Have all the anti-terrorist movements calmed down in Barcelona? It was overblown in the first place. But yeah, it's calmed down some because it's not tourist season. But they still are complaining about it. But it is what it is. So I don't know what else to say. I'm not worried about it. I was there summer 2023. I took students there. We stayed there. Didn't have really any issues. I think a lot of it is more based on the Airbnb issue, which the mayor said he's going to get rid of over the next 5 years. That made it so there wasn't as much housing in town. I think that's probably the bigger issue. Jason, glad you did a video on St. Louis. You did a great job explaining what we have to offer. Guess you lived here. I'm from like 90 minutes north up the river in Illinois. So, but I was a Cardinals fan. Still am. Cubs suck. Matthew, Salem, Mass, Sleepy Hollow worth visiting. We've been to Sleepy Hollow. I mean, if you're coming from New York and you're going to go to New England, you can stop there and have lunch and go on. Salem's fun at Halloween time. Brittany, thank you very much for the super chat. I didn't do that. I really appreciate that. I'm glad I could answer your question. I hope it helped and get you ready for your travels. So thank you very much. Oh, look, Jocelyn Walters. She says, Liam never said, hi, Mark, I love you. Maybe I missed it. Maybe I haven't got to that one yet. I gave wrong information about social space in Sweden. No, I did not. The Swedes do not like when people get near them, and they do not want you talking about the public transportation. I will stick by that one till the end, Bob. Sorry. But you can have your own opinion. That's what the internet's for. It's for everybody. So let's see. Free now app for taxi service. Oh, cool. What are you doing for Halloween? So we actually have friends coming from Italy. So our friend Elena, her dream was to have a American Thanksgiving, like a real American Thanksgiving. And 10 years ago, she came for Thanksgiving with her family, Nando, Elena, and Asia, and they came, and we did it up. Jocelyn made, we took them. It was just crazy. Like this most or the most Thanksgiving you could ever have. Now, Ozzy is 12, and she's like, she wants to have an American Halloween, and when you're 12, it's getting towards the end of like the Halloweeny stuff. So Elena and Ozzy are going to come for Halloween, and we're going to do like the corn mazes and the trick or treating. And she's going to get to go. We've figured out with the schools and everything. She's going to get to see what it's like to go to American school. Take an American school bus, the yellow school bus. People don't believe those are real. Yes, people, the yellow school buses are real. Liam takes one every day. So we're doing that. We're the house that gives out the full-size candy bars. And sadly, I've done that for 3 years in a row now. Because we moved to this house. So since we moved to this house, I've done it every year. So everyone knows that now. So they're like at my door exactly at 6 o'clock when it starts. And then I'm like, and they'll try to like circle. I'm like, wait a minute. I know you. I got to help out the other people. So we got those things. Oh, Jody, don't worry. There's plenty of non-spicy foods when you're in Turkey in general. You don't have to have spice all the time. There's plenty of really good food. Like Turkish foods, there's a lot of really good stuff. So don't worry. Don't even worry. Viking farts. I still love your thing. We're actually going to be in Romania this summer. Well, this coming summer. So we'll have some stuff there. I've been there before, but that was before Walter's World. So time to get back. So we'll have some stuff. DJ Woody, hi, going to Seoul next month for 3 days. Any recs on where to stay? What are some of the sights to see and foods to eat? Sadly, I do not have anything on Korea. My dad worked there for a number of years and never took us with him. My mom is still bitter about that 20 years later, and so am I. But we are supposed to go for Christmas next year. So we're going to be there next winter. Not this winter coming up, but the 2025, 2026. So DJ Woody, I'm sorry. Thank you for the super chat, but I'm sorry I can't give anything on there, but I'm sure there's some awesome people in the chat that are probably giving you information right now. So if anybody can help out with some help for Seoul and the food and where to stay, please do. I appreciate it. My least favorite European countries, if you look at my most unfriendly ones, Luxembourg's up on there. I was actually RTL Luxembourg interviewed me because of my video. Pascal, I'll be spending Christmas in Riga. I've done that. It's cold, and if you go up top of the tower of one of the churches, you'll freeze, so be careful with that. But they have really nice Christmas markets when you are there. I have a Don'ts of Latvia and Riga video. Watch that. The same stuff works in the winter at Christmas time. There's just a nice little Christmas market there, so you'll be fine. You'll have a good time. When do I think ETS will be implemented? So that's when everyone's worried. When is the visa? When is the visa? You know what? I don't know. Like, they've pushed that thing back so many times that I was like, it was supposed to be, 2022, 2023, 2024. Now I think it's like January 2025, but I'm hearing nothing. I'm not getting anything from anybody about it. So maybe some pushback again. I mean, I got to start looking at my stuff for that too, because I got trips next year. So, but for those of you worried, if you do it, it's valid for, I think, for 3 years. And basically you go and you fill out stuff. It's like $8. You give them like, here's your passport. Here's my next flight. Here's where I'm going. And that's it. And you literally, it's almost like within minutes, you already have it. If it takes more than a day, they'll let you know. But you got to do it at least 72 hours before your flight. And once you have it, it's good for 3 years. Lucas, Mark, has been my bucket list item for me to travel to the Holy Land. When it will be safe to do so, I don't know. I actually have a bunch. We were in Israel last summer in July. And I have a bunch of things. So there's a Tel Aviv. Someone was asking me to take down the Tel Aviv. I'm not taking down the Tel Aviv video. That's up there. A couple of Israel videos are already up. But I've got like Don'ts of Jerusalem, Don'ts the Dead Sea, Don'ts, Mistakes, Love and Hates Israel, Eats of Israel, all kinds of stuff that I have. But I'm not doing that now when everything's going on. Those will come out later to help out. But we had a great time with there. Going to Holy Land was an amazing experience. I'm so glad we went. So I would do it again. So, yes, I know people sit next to each other on the train or subway, but it's not really. If it's an empty train, really, do they go sit by each other? So, Edinburgh Thanksgiving, rain, not really snow, but rain, chilly, but still worth it. Beautiful, like beautiful city, and when it's wet, it like shines, so it's kind of a nice thing. Let's see. Yes, our friends from Italy, as Jocelyn's catching up on the chat. I talked about this minutes ago, Jocelyn. Mello Canino. Hi, Walter. I'm an Italian. I live in Texas. Ciao. Benvenuto. I like the way you promote my country, not always the major cities like Milan or Rome, Bari, Treviso. There are so many nice places to see outside the crowd. Yes, and Mel, you make a great point. Like, this is one of those things when people, that over tourism thing, I think that's where when people get upset with influencers, and I know people get mad at me, well, you're an influencer, Mark. I'm like, well, yeah, I am, but I try to influence people to be better tourists, not like, oh, we go to Milan and Florence and Rome, and that's it. No, I want to show people more stuff so you go to explore more. That's why, like, if we were in Greece last summer, and, Santorini, Mykonos, and Athens were overflowing with tourists. But Crete, our friends are like, we might close down shop early because nobody's here. Because people only went to those places. And the thing is, Instagram, TikTok, they're great for inspiration, but I want people to explore more. That's why we try to get these other smaller towns. And Mela, I'm going to be back in Italy going to some more smaller towns this winter, and then later next year as well, to try to get more of those Alberobellos and Baris and kind of stuff, and Treviso. So we'll have some more fun stuff coming out for you, buddy. So thank you. I appreciate that. Nice, Steve. Go Cars, Boo Cubs. That's right. Shut up. You're going to have to pay your rent. I appreciate all these, but I'm worried about you. Shout out to the Christmas girl to New Year's girl. Again, if you had to use between Netherlands, Ireland, Switzerland, or Finland during the specific week, I would do Netherlands. Just because you can get around really easy. It's small. There's lots of cute towns to go to. And the Dutch aren't the ones doing crazy stuff. It's the tourists, so it's easy to kind of get away from it. Switzerland's very pricey. Finland, it's dark because you're so far up there, and that's why, I love Finland. It's super relaxing. If you want to relax and be in nature, Finland's great, but I don't know if that time of the year when it's dark all the time, like literally like dark at, 11 in the morning and dark at 2 in the afternoon. So there with that, I'd say, but if you want the wintry feel, I would go Netherlands, Switzerland, and Ireland. All three of those are great choices. So they're all great choices, but yeah. Jacob W., thank you for the super chat. I told my fiance you're my favorite travel blogger. Oh, thanks, Jacob. We were planning a trip to Argentina for our honeymoon. Any recommendations? So you're going in March. So March will be the end of summer, beginning of spring, but you'll be fine with the weather. So Buenos Aires is cool. You want to do that. That's a must. I would recommend, if you're going to be there, even if you just do a day trip, take that ferry over to Colonia, Uruguay, okay, and go there for the day. Even if you only go for a day, it's worth it. Spend the night. You can spend the night there. It's great. I would do that. Then if you're going to go someplace else, I would probably go down to Bariloche, which is like in the mountains. So you do hiking because it won't be winter time, so it won't be skiing, but you can do hiking there. That's really kind of cool. Or you can go way down to Patagonia and see some really cool stuff. And the hikes down there is amazing. You go to Puerto Madryn, you can see the whales there, those kind of things. But I would kind of do that way. If you go to Mendoza, if you like wine, Mendoza is great for the wine. Fly to Mendoza and do that. Mendoza is where I fell in love with wine. I was never a wine drinker until I went to Mendoza. So I hope that helps, Jacob. And congratulations on the future nuptials. Oh, look who's here. Darian, my German friend. Good to see you, my friend. Oh, wait. I got a text. Maybe Justin's telling me I have to answer someone else's thing. Don't want to get in trouble. Oh, no, not yet. She's going to bed. Good night, Jocelyn. Love you. Mothman 313. Are you from West Virginia? Or yeah, Mothman's West Virginia, isn't it? No. Wait. I can't remember. We were there. I've been there so many times. Now my brain is farting on me. Anyway. Hey, Walter, thank you so much for the advice. I'm actually going to Italy and Greece in November. Do you have any advice for that time of year? So if you're going to be driving in Italy, fog can be an issue in the north or even anywhere if you're in the mountains driving, so be aware of that. Otherwise, a lot fewer tourists there. Greece, if you're thinking about doing the islands, I would just fly everywhere because the ferries, they're very seldom at that time. But don't expect a lot of stuff to be open, and the things that are more like winter, really like summer-based things. Like you're going to Santorini, there's not going to be hardly anything going on. Okay, so just giving you a heads up for that. But you will have a good time. And actually going to Italy and Greece in November, really good chance to actually get to talk to the locals too. So you should have a fun time with that. Grace, either way, you'll be fine. But there's taxi apps that'll work just as well. And I would just, you can do either one. Liam Labum, what do you recommend is too much countries for a 16-day trip in mainland Europe? 16? That'll be too many. I don't know. Like, because you could do something where you're like doing France, Belgium, Netherlands, Germany, Luxembourg, and you're like, oh, I'm in Paris for 3 days, and then I'm in, Ghent for a day and a day in Bruges, and then I'm a couple of days in Luxembourg City, and then I go into the Netherlands, and I'm in Utrecht, and I'm going to Amsterdam, then I head over to Cologne, and so it's not like you're going a huge distance. You don't have to feel super bad about that. But I wouldn't do too many, because what I see when people do that, they spend most of their vacation in the train or in the plane or in the airport instead of enjoying their time. And I want you to enjoy your time traveling. So something to kind of think about when you're looking at that. Ooh, Julia, we're in Portugal right now. Jealous. 3 nights in Sintra, 1 each in Cascais, Évora. Nice. 5 in Porto, Braga. You make me cry. I miss my Portugal. Have fun. Have a Sagres for me, or a Superboc, or maybe Alheira, or a Pastel, or Folhado, but not Caldo Verde. I don't want any Caldo Verde, and I'm not a codfish fan, so you have to eat cod for me, so it's all good. Chris Bates, what are your thoughts on over-tourism? Some of the steps countries are taking to limit tourists. Well, what they're doing is they're limiting tourists that don't have a lot of money. Like, let's be honest. They don't mind tourists that have a lot of money. They're going to spend money. What they're trying to do is cut off the tourists that aren't spending money. So they don't want you going to Aldi to get your stuff. They want you to go to the grocery. They want you to go to restaurants. You're spending more, and there's more tax dollars there. Stay in a hotel. Hey, we get more tax dollars. Airbnb. Hey, I don't know how that tax system works. So I think what you're going to see is, pushback on the cheaper accommodation or the cheaper Airbnb stuff. I think that's where you're going to see the biggest one. And I think that will do a big cut out of it, because by taking those out, it'll drive up the prices for the ones that are legally there and then the hotels. So, I mean, I could do a whole thing on this, and I might do that on the Professor Walters channel. I talk about business stuff. So that's probably a good thing I should probably talk about. My favorite big cities, HG51, my favorite big cities in Europe. Well, I tell people, if you're going to go to big cities, your first time in Europe, if you can do like a tour, the London, Paris, Prague, Rome, that's would be my recommendations for that. So let's see. Oh, Chris heard. Okay, May 1st. Okay. Yeah, May 1st. That's what they're saying now. So he's already pushed back since last. Check the news. Okay, so I made a video on the ETIS video thing. I made it like 3 years ago, and I was ready to upload it, and they announced it that day that, oh, we're moving it back. So so I did another part, redid it. I was like, I'll put it up for 6 months. I'm like, I'm going to put it up now. No joke. About to put it up. They announced they push it back again. I'm like, oh. So I ended up putting one up. It's like, it's supposed to be like January 2024, but, it changes so many times. Here's just the basic stuff for it. So there's that. Hey, Julie, I'm glad those Portugal's videos could help. Night, Brian. Say hi to the fam for me. Is Finland the most introverted country you've been to? So I don't know if they're introverted. They're just more to themselves. But if you get a few Salmiak and the Koskan Corbas in them, they're a little gregarious. They can talk some. They can do some talking. Let's see. Zachary, best city in the U.S. Ones I love going to: New York City, Savannah, Georgia, New Orleans. Those are my 3 favorites. All right, I got to go help Liam with some stuff here in a little bit. So I'm going to be heading off in a couple of minutes. So I just want to hop on here. Brittany, thank you again for the super chat. I'm so excited for our German road trip. My family migrated from Saxony and Baden-Baden. Airbnb is horrible here in Austin. I'm sorry. We have more VRBOs than New York City, Venice. Yeah. And the thing is, it's not just big tourist cities. It's cities like Austin that are getting nailed too, and you're like it's hurting people. It's hurting people. So do I have a bucket list? I would think for me, Egypt. Johnson would be Bhutan. I think New Zealand. Otherwise, I've been to most places I've wanted to go to. So Lucas asks, are Rick Steves travel books worth their price? So I have some back there somewhere. Rick Steves is good for, I think he does a really good job for finding local accommodation and local restaurants. I do like that. I've always never liked his maps, because his maps are like hand-drawn things, which I'm very much I like to see the map in my mind kind of things. But what I really recommend for people, if you're looking for guides, like you want to get a guide in the city, his guides that he suggests are fantastic, and I highly recommend you use them. And say a prayer for him. He's going through prostate cancer, so say a little thing for him. Let's see. Hey, Mark, taking the kids to Ireland for March break. Any tips for flying into Shannon? Will be on the west side. So I actually I will have videos on taking kids to Ireland. I don't know how your age your kids, Dan. Bring your car seat because it doesn't count as a carry-on. Have that since it's already done because you don't want to deal with it at the airport. The cars will be smaller than you're expecting. So if you get a full-size SUV, it's going to be like a Kia RAV4 or something like that, or whatever. So heads up, tons of stuff for kids, and the people love kids there. So you'll be fine. It's a great place to take kids. Yeah, and getting automatic sometimes a little more difficult. HG51, thank you very much for the super chat. Do you think Paris offers a more authentic European experience than London? The language differences make it feel different. Yes, I would say that. London, sometimes you feel like you're in a Paddington book again. So you have that vibe, like if you're American, you have that kind of vibe from like TV shows and stuff. So you see more there. That's why the architecture, like the Houseman architecture, that if you look on our Jocelyn's Architectural History playlist on Walter's World Shorts or on Instagram at Walter's World, she talks about it, which shows the architecture in France and in Paris specifically. You do get a different feel for it. So I think it does give you more of that European vibe. So Eric B, good to see you, my friend. Good man, good man. Tips, any plans? Yeah, Antarctica, yes. Liam's needs to be 15, then we'll probably go. So Anthony Ryan, I haven't seen you forever, my friend. Hope you're doing good. Hi, Mark. How do you base your travel around travel reward points? For example, how could you maximize your earnings or spending? So I don't really go with the reward points. I don't use that to do my stuff. It's nice to have. I use upgrades. That's what I use my stuff for flights. And I tell people, look, if you don't travel a lot, it might be better for you to get a credit card that gives you cash back than for travel point stuff. So it's one of those things that you have to look at your budget to decide. I mean, that's why I haven't really done like one of those videos on what are the best travel credit cards, because sometimes it's honestly, there's a credit card that might be better that if you get 3% back at the end of the year, that's going to give you more than if you only travel like once every 2 years abroad. So something to kind of think about. Keep trying is saying, please, please, please. I don't know what that's for. I'm sorry. All right. Okay, I'm trying to see. You're welcome, HG51. I. That's right. All right, I'm looking for the one to keep trying. Because there's a please, please, please. All right. Oh, William. Mark, we are having our honeymoon in Italy, November 24th to December 7th. The idea is to make it romantic. Yes, I would say on the weekends, do not be in Florence or Venice. That would be my recommendation. I would plan for those for during the week kind of things, because then you can spend some time together. And yes, well, if you're that time, I don't think the gondola is really going to be going. But I would say spend the money for the hotels with the view, whether you're in Florence or Venice. Rome, you'll be fine anywhere. But like some of those places, I would do that. In terms of romance, I would say the day trips, make sure it's a worthwhile day trip. Like don't do a day trip to Pisa, do a day trip to Lucca. Okay. Or, that's going to give you more time together. But also, it's your honeymoon, so you're going to be doing stuff. What I might do is for you to have like more of a bonding experience that isn't just bonding. I would say look into like a cooking class or a wine tour kind of thing. That might be something that's like you take a break from it. You're not thinking they take you around, you try the wine, it's good. Then you have fun later on. But that would be something I would kind of think about. But congratulations. That's awesome. Let's see. George, he throws the worst ever, complete trash. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of JFK or O'Hare, but yeah, I feel you, George, when it comes to airports that drive me insane. But I think the worst was when you fly in to Toronto and then you have to go through U.S. Customs and you have to go from one terminal to another terminal, back to another terminal. You're like, oh my God, this is horrible. So that's one of those things. Ari, buddy, how you been? Hi, Mark. Say hi to Jocelyn for me. Shout out to Darren, Eric B, and Captain Billy J. So Ari, how long you been chatting with me? We're talking like 10 years at least, right, buddy? I mean, it's been a long time, man. It's good to see you. That's what I love. And there's so many people I haven't got to say hi to. I really appreciate all of you being on here. And I mean, I know I don't do the lives as much because just life's been life. Like we all know, like I've had some scares and we're good now, but it's just like life's life, and I'm just glad that we still have this great community here, and I just love all you being here and these fellow travelers. So thank you everybody for being so awesome. You guys are the best. It's 9. I promised Liam I'd spend some time with him tonight, so I'm trying to be a better dad to annoy them before he gets to the age where he's like, Caleb, he's like, yeah, I saw you today, Dad. We're good. And I'm like, all right. So anyway, well, I love you all. Thanks, Ari. Thanks, everybody. Thanks so much, Ari. Dude, that was really nice of you. London Sea was a breeze. I'm glad there's at least that one. Brittany, New York is the worst. So we're going to New York City later this year, and we're using all 3 airports because I'm coming in early, then Jocelyn and the boys, and we're going out, and so it's like we all have the different ones. So it's kind of like I would like them to film, and I'll film and like say, hey, which one really is the worst? So we might do that for you, Brittany, when we go in there. But yes, Toronto. There's no, yeah, you don't pronounce the second T, Toronto, right? Hopefully I did okay. Love you too, my brother. All right. So, Jenny O'Shea, good to see you too. So nice to see so many good people. Night, Carmen. Tell your mom I said hey. And your sister, she was so sweet. So sweet. All right. AC from Texas, we're heading out. I appreciate the love. I wish you all the best. Thank you, everybody, for hopping on. I will do my best to do more of these. It's just been a crazy. It's been crazy. Life's been crazy. But hopefully we can help you guys travel more. The videos are still coming out. Actually, there's going to be a lot of videos coming out because we're going to put some of the shorts on Walter's World, not just the Shorts channel. The Shorts channel is going to start transitioning from there's like short tips, more behind the scenes stuff, and like not daily life. We're not going to talk. Here's my skincare routine. Yeah, it's called Dove soap. Okay, that's my skincare routine. We're not going to do that, but like we have one that's going to come up. Like Josh and I were at an antique mall, and then who spent the most? I didn't think it would be me, but apparently GI Joes are more expensive than I thought. But we're gonna have some fun stuff on there. So do subscribe to that Walter's World Shorts channel for like other stuff, like not just travel. Like travel will be on there, but vertical ones, but also other things. We're gonna try to do some different stuff on there. Professor Walters, that one. We're going to be redoing it. So we're really going to focus on helping small businesses and to run their business. So there's going to be a lot of things there. So if you're an entrepreneur, we'll have things to help you out on that. Also social media help on there too. Then of course the main channel, we always appreciate it. But if you want our food videos, Walter's World Eats, you go down below, you can click on that, go subscribe so we get some more food in your tum-tum, because people are like, why don't you have more food in your videos? I'm like, because we have a whole channel dedicated to food around the world. And we don't really give the restaurants. We tell you the food you should have. So no matter when you watch that video, you'll know what the traditional food is you should have, so you can find that restaurant. All right. So love you all. Thank you so much. I wish you all the best. Joss, you still there? Night, baby. I love you. I wish you all the best. Adios, Daniel. Great name. Bye, Brittany. Bye, Jenny, Natalisa, Eric, B, Mark, everybody, you guys, Darian, Chris's. Thanks, everybody. All the best and a wonderful night. Good night to you all. Where's the bourbon? I missed the COVID days. The reason I didn't have any whiskey for Whiskey Wednesday is because I literally ran in the because I brought Liam back from practice, ran in the door, turned on the computer, and started this. Like I didn't have the plug. Like the plug's over there because I didn't get a chance to plug it in. So thanks everybody. I wish you all the best, and until next time, happy travels. Bye.